Luna, sit. Paw, good girl. Say hello to YouTube. Should we get you a treat? Come on. There you go, baby. Okay, it's been a few days basically. Let's try that again, shall we? Right, it's been a good few days actually since I've done any sort of work on the Civic whatsoever. You can probably tell by how much lovely hair I'm getting, which I'm not going to do anything with today. I've spent the last sort of couple of weeks really focusing. I had a couple of cars that I was selling. Put them on eBay, lovely eBay. I sold the things probably 3 times before real people actually turned up. But they've gone. Effort's back on the Civic. I really want to get the Civic MOT'd this week if I can. I had a look at the previous MOT fail, which was back in June. It failed on a bit of rust on the back seals, which obviously we've seen. A couple of bulbs. Other than that, there's no failures on the car at all. So plan today is get some steel cut out, get those sills welded up if possible, and get them primed so they're solid. I'm not going to bother filling them just yet. Got some paint on order. Wait until you see the colour that I've picked for it. It should be pretty popping, to be honest. Need to get the exhaust fitted before the MOT, because that was the only other thing. Exhaust was blowing. Again, we've seen on the videos. I've got a new system to go on, which I'll show you. Looks quite good. Okay, so I've got the car out. I've already just quickly started going at this. This is one of the repairs. You might remember there's a little dinky hole just next to where I can see there's been a previous repair. So I'm just going to wire brush off all this sealer because I want to see what the rest of the repair is like. If it's just been welded over rusty metal, I'll cut the lot out. I'll weld a new bit in. But if this little tiny hole is just the edge of a new bit of rust, I'll get away with just literally patching a tiny little patch in there, which will save me a load of work trying to sort of reshape this panel and get rid of this sealer, and we'll see what's behind it. Okay, so I've not took all of the sealer off yet. What I've concentrated on doing is just basically removing it all along this weld seam. Firstly, so I can see what the welds are actually like, and second, just to see if this is just an isolated incident of a little bit of rust just coming back on the join, or if it's in fact all the way along the seam. You can see, I mean, it's a bit discoloured from the wire wheeling and the dust, but I'm fairly happy with this. The welding's strong. It's not going anywhere. This is a bit unfortunate, but what I have uncovered is when I've been taking the sealer off, is it doesn't look like this has been primed at all under the sealer, which is a big problem. Now normally what you'd do is you'd either seal it, then paint it all so it's covered properly, or you primer it, then seal it, just so it's got a bit of protection. But this isn't too bad. I can weld a very small patch in here, which is going to save me an absolute ton of work. What I'm just going to do now, I'm going to jack the car up and take the wheel off so I can have a look on the inner edge properly, and I'll also just going to wire wheel just the edges of the arch just so I can see if there's anything that I need to look at concentrating on there. The good thing is is that just before I bought this car, it had gone through an MOT which had failed. I looked on the MOT history and it literally needs these two bits, the one on the other side and this one. There's a couple of lights that were out. I don't know if that's going to be wiring or if it's going to be bulbs. And the exhaust was blowing. So once we've got that exhaust replaced, which we have an exhaust which I'll show you in a bit. So that is going in that. Thought I'd better catch this before I rip it all out, but this is a prime example of a very, very poor repair. So you can see, ignore this hole, I've just put this in. You can see there's been a weld here and there's been a repair patch in previously. Now I started having a quick feel just underneath and I could feel that there was a second skin. So if I feel right up, you can actually see that this repair panel is not being put on properly for a start because the old stuff hasn't been taken out, but actually it is not even attached properly at all. Look at that. That is horrendous. A weld shouldn't be that weak at all. And there's the, I knew because I could see this grommet poking out the bottom. So I'll get this ripped out, grinded out, whatever I need to do, and then I'll have another look. This is what I'm left with. So I decided to get rid of that entire repair. I went probably about an inch higher than I really needed to, just to make sure that I was on good solid metal. This basically what I'm going to do, I've cut a pattern out, which is going to be the piece that I'm going to need to replace. So inside's completely done. I basically put a full new panel in, dressed the welds up. I've seam sealed it. It's got primer on, obviously. I ended up putting a patch in here. I basically cut it so it was a little triangle so that I could weld a patch in. And then what I also found just underneath, as you can see there was just a tiny little strip of rust on the bottom. So I basically just cut it out and welded a new strip in just while I've got the welder and the grinder and stuff here. Bang this wheel back on, and I'm going to get something to eat because I'm absolutely starving. I've also injured myself. Tiny little angle grinder cut. PPE, ladies and gentlemen, PPE. I know I said right early on in one of the previous videos that I was really impatient. The camera ran out of charge while I was working and I wasn't quite ready to finish up for the day, so I've still got that other side to weld. I haven't welded it, but what I have done is I've now fitted my shotgun exhaust, which is manifold back. It's nothing spectacular, but it's nice, shiny, new. Put on my BMW bottle cap wheels. Really period bod this. Normally you see these on like Civics from the 90s and stuff, but I think they suit the profile of the car quite well. I mean, it's difficult to see when the car's different colours. I've laid a quick bit of primer on there just to protect it. There's no point welding it up if it's just going to all rust again. But that's how she sits at the end of the working day. It's definitely getting there. I've just got to weld that other arch up and then I'll be going to take it for MOT. I don't know what the MOT guy's going to say with it being God knows how many different colours, but we shall see and see if they find anything else that needs sorting. That's going to wrap us up for this time. I've got all these tools to put away. I've got to clean the patio, make sure I get rid of all this rubbish, because if the wife comes back and her lovely patio is filthy, she will kill me. So I'm probably going to get a quick bucket on that and swirl it out into the stone so you can't see it. Unless you're watching this video, Jen, and haha, I've been working on the patio. Right, catch all you folks on the next one.